You know what's wild? Johnny Depp has done it again. Seriously, after years of ups and downs, controversies, and courtroom drama, he's finally back in a way nobody saw coming. And this time, it's not about lawyers, lawsuits, or headlines. It's about redemption, creativity, and a comeback so massive that everyone, fans, critics, even Hollywood execs, can't stop talking about it. If you've been following the chaos surrounding Johnny, trust me, you're definitely not alone. For years, it felt like the world couldn't look away from every new twist in his story. The legal battles, the career fallout, the social media storm, it was everywhere. But now everything's changing. And the big question is, what exactly happened that's got people saying Johnny Depp just pulled off one of the greatest comebacks in Hollywood history? Well, that's what we're diving into today. From his huge new project to Disney maybe, just maybe, reopening its doors, to what insiders are calling his Hollywood homecoming, we're breaking it all down. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll see why this win means so much more than just another role. Alright, let's rewind a little. After that high-profile trial with Amber Heard, Johnny's name was everywhere. Every news outlet, every social platform. It was impossible to escape. And let's be real, for a while, things didn't look good. Many people believed his career might never recover. Studios pulled back, projects were canceled, and it felt like one of the biggest movie stars of our generation was fading out right before our eyes. But Johnny Depp has always had this way of turning pain into power. Fast forward to now, and the narrative has completely flipped. Johnny has scored a massive win. And no, it's not in court this time. It's in Hollywood. He's officially back in action, landing new projects, reclaiming his status, and proving that resilience and talent can outlast controversy. Fans are calling it his Hollywood comeback, and honestly, that's the perfect way to describe it. One of the most jaw-dropping. Parts of this whole story is the fact that major studios, the same ones that distanced themselves from him during the chaos, are now reaching out again. And yes, that includes Disney. Remember when Disney reportedly said they'd never work with Johnny again? Well, it seems like they might be rethinking that. That's right. Whispers around Hollywood suggest Disney and Depp could be talking again, maybe about a return to the Pirates of the Caribbean universe. And you know what that means? Captain Jack Sparrow could be setting sail again. Can you imagine the fan reaction if that actually happens? Social media would explode. But what's even more interesting is that Johnny's not just jumping at any offer. Insiders are saying he's being very selective about what he takes on next. He's focusing on roles and projects that truly excite him, ones that align with his artistic side, not just his fame. That's power. That's confidence. That's a man who's taking control of his story again. It's not about chasing paychecks or proving something to anyone anymore. It's about doing what he loves, on his terms. And honestly, who can blame him? After everything he's been through, the court battles, the headlines, the memes, the public judgment, he's earned the right to be picky. Fans online are going absolutely wild about it. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, everyone's celebrating this comeback like it's a victory for truth, talent, and redemption. You see comments like, "Finally, justice for Johnny," or "He never lost his spark. Hollywood just forgot." It's not just support. It's love. Real, loyal, passionate fan love that's been building for years. And if you scroll through social media right now, you'll see edits, clips, and fan-made trailers celebrating his return. The internet has basically turned this into a full-on movement. And honestly, it's beautiful to see. But here's where things get even more interesting. And honestly, more meaningful. This comeback isn't just about fame. It's about legacy. According to film analyst Sarah Kingston from Entertainment Weekly, Johnny's return isn't being fueled by scandal anymore. It's being fueled by artistry. She said, and I quote, "Depp's comeback isn't fueled by scandal anymore. It's fueled by artistry. Hollywood loves a redemption story, and this one's cinematic gold. That says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just about getting a movie role. It's about reclaiming identity. Johnny isn't just signing on to random blockbusters. He's diving into projects that mean something to him. For example, he's now producing and directing films again, especially ones that celebrate European art, storytelling, and emotion. He's focusing on stories that feel personal and authentic, not just profitable. And this shift really speaks volumes. It shows a man who's found peace, focus, and creative clarity after years of noise. It's like he's saying, I don't need Hollywood's approval anymore. I just want to create. There's also talk, and this one has fans buzzing, that Johnny is planning a tell-all interview soon. A deep, honest, raw conversation about everything he's been through. The career highs, the personal pain, the lessons learned. Imagine hearing Johnny Depp, in his own words, talk about what it took to rebuild himself from the ground up. That's something fans have been waiting for years. And if that interview really happens, you can bet the internet will break. But let's talk about why this comeback resonates so deeply with people. It's not just about celebrity drama. It's about seeing someone who was publicly broken, someone who had the world turn its back, slowly rise again through sheer persistence and self-belief. That's a story anyone can connect to. Because at the end of the day, who hasn't felt underestimated? Who hasn't been written off before they got their chance to shine again? Johnny's journey reminds us that resilience can rewrite any narrative. You can tell he's not the same person he was years ago. There's this quiet calmness about him now, a sense of gratitude and humility that comes through in every recent appearance. Whether he's on stage performing music with his band or greeting fans after a film festival, he seems genuinely thankful. He's not chasing fame. He's embracing purpose. And you know what else is fascinating? The public's changing perception of him. A few years ago, headlines painted him as unpredictable or problematic. But now people are seeing the full picture. A man who fought for his truth, stood tall through the chaos, and came out stronger. It's not often Hollywood gives second chances. But when it does, it's because the story is too powerful to ignore. And this, Johnny Depp's story, is one of those rare, powerful ones. Think about it. How many celebrities have gone through what he has and still managed to bounce back with such grace and style? It's a reminder that reputation isn't fixed. It can evolve. It can heal. Now, let's not forget the humor in all this, because come on, it's Johnny Depp, the man who gave us Captain Jack Sparrow, the mischievous pirate who always manages to escape disaster. It's kind of poetic, isn't it? After all those storms, he's steering his ship back into calm waters again. You could even say Karma's got great taste in eyeliner. And speaking of pirates, fans haven't given up on the dream. They want to see him back in that iconic role one more time. Some even say no one else could ever replace him. It's true. Captain Jack isn't just a character. He's a cultural icon. The idea of seeing him back on that ship, compass in hand, smirking at danger, that's enough to make movie history all over again. But even if that never happens, it's clear Johnny's career is thriving again. He's performing music, producing, directing, and picking roles that inspire him. It's not just a comeback, it's a transformation. And honestly, watching that kind of growth is inspiring. He's teaching everyone, fans, actors, even critics, that you can be knocked down by the world and still stand tall again if you keep believing in your art, your truth, and yourself. That's why people are rooting for him so hard. It's not just about Hollywood glitz. It's about hope. Every time Johnny steps onto a stage now or walks into a public event, there's this electric energy that fills the room, a kind of warmth you can almost feel through the screen. It's not just excitement. It's admiration mixed with relief. You can hear the crowd before you even see him. Fans shout his name, their voices trembling with emotion, like they're welcoming back an old friend they haven't seen in years. People raise their phones high, hoping to capture even a few seconds of him smiling or waving. There's laughter, there are tears, and for a moment, all the noise of the past, the gossip, the headlines, the courtrooms, fades away. What's left is pure connection between an artist and his audience. When Johnny smiles back, it's that familiar grin, the one that's mischievous, a little shy, but full of gratitude. You can tell he's deeply touched by it all. His eyes scan the crowd like he's soaking in every cheer, every sign, every face. He waves, sometimes putting a hand to his heart, a simple gesture that says more than words ever could. It's as if he's silently saying, "Thank you for standing by me." People don't just see Johnny Depp the celebrity anymore. They see the man who went through one of the hardest public battles of his life and still came out standing. They see someone who didn't let the world's opinion define him. They see resilience. And maybe that's why these moments feel so emotional. Because fans aren't just cheering for an actor, they're cheering for a human being who refused to break. In the front rows, you'll see fans holding up handmade signs that say things like, "Justice for Johnny" or "We believe in you." Some of them have been supporting him for decades. Ever since his early days in films like Edward Scissorhands or Donnie Brasco. Others are younger, people who discovered him during the whole trial saga and stayed because they were moved by how he carried himself through it. It's not just about nostalgia, it's about loyalty and empathy. There's always that one fan who bursts into tears the moment he walks by, and without hesitation, Johnny stops. He takes their hand, gives a small nod, and suddenly that person is crying even harder because he actually took the time to acknowledge them. It's small gestures like that which make people love him even more. He's not detached or distant like some celebrities. He's approachable, humble, real. And the atmosphere around him now feels different than before. In the past, his appearances were all glitz and mystery, Hollywood glamour, paparazzi flashes, red carpets. But now it feels more genuine, almost healing. He's not trying to perform for anyone. He's just being himself. When he talks to the crowd or signs autographs, he does it with this quiet sincerity, like he's truly present in that moment, at concerts. When he's performing with his band, you can see the joy radiating from him. The music seems to ground him, freeing him in a way acting can't. He closes his eyes while playing guitar, lost in the rhythm, and the audience feels that energy. It's not about fame anymore, it's about expression. People in the crowd sway, sing along, and cheer not just for the music, but for the man who found peace again through it. The applause that follows isn't just polite appreciation, it's thunderous, heartfelt, emotional. Some fans shout, "We love you, Johnny!" Others chant his name like they're cheering for a hero who's returned from battle. And maybe that's exactly what it feels like, a victory lap for a man who fought his way back from darkness. Even at film festivals, where the atmosphere is more formal, you can sense that same undercurrent of triumph. When Johnny steps onto the red carpet, the flashes go wild. Reporters shout questions, fans scream from behind barriers, and yet he stays calm, smiling softly, waving, sometimes pausing to greet people by name if he recognizes them from previous events. That small, thoughtful touch makes every interaction feel personal. You can tell that people don't just respect him, they feel connected to him. It's like they grew up with his movies, lived through his characters, and now they're standing by him in real life. Every cheer, every clap feels like the world collectively saying, "We never stopped believing in you." And that phrase, it means more than just support. It's forgiveness, faith, and admiration all rolled into one. It's fans saying, "We saw your pain and we saw your strength. We watched you fall, and now we're watching you rise." There's something incredibly powerful about witnessing redemption in real time. It's not polished or scripted. It's raw, emotional, and human. You can see the gratitude in Johnny's eyes, the way he pauses to take it all in. For him, this isn't just about fame returning. It's about being seen again, not as a headline or a controversy, but as an artist, a storyteller, a person. He knows the journey back wasn't easy. Every step, every public appearance carries weight, not just for his career, but for his spirit. Yet every time he's on that stage or walking that carpet, it feels lighter, freer. The world isn't looking at him through judgment anymore. They're looking at him with respect. In a way, the audience's reaction mirrors his transformation. The same people who once watched him stumble are now watching him soar. They're cheering not just because he's Johnny Depp, the movie star, but because his story represents hope. Hope that it's possible to come back from anything. Hope that truth eventually finds its way through the noise. When he leaves the stage, he always turns back one last time to wave. The crowd roars louder, as if trying to hold on to the moment. And maybe deep down, everyone knows they're witnessing something rare. A man finding his peace, his voice and his audience again, all at once. That feeling, That shared moment of joy, belief, and redemption lingers in the air long after he's gone. Fans walk away smiling, clutching autographs or photos, still buzzing with emotion. They don't just feel like they saw a celebrity. They feel like they were part of a chapter in his story, and maybe that's what makes it so special. It's not about the fame or the applause or the cameras. It's about connection, the kind that can't be broken by time, rumors, or even the toughest storms. Johnny's journey has reminded everyone that no matter how far you fall, if you keep believing, there will always be people waiting to cheer when you stand back up. It's a shared triumph, his and theirs. When they chant his name, they're really saying, "We knew you'd make it." And every time he smiles back, he's saying, "Thanks for never giving up on me." And if you think about it, that's rare. Most celebrities don't get that kind of loyalty after public controversies. But Johnny does, because there's something about him that feels real, raw, human. He's not trying to be perfect. He's just trying to be honest. That honesty is what people are connecting to. And that's why this comeback feels so genuine. Now, looking ahead, there's so much to look forward to. Rumors of new roles, potential collaborations, and of course that possible interview everyone's waiting for. This is just the beginning of Johnny Depp's next chapter, and what a story it's been so far. From heartbreak to healing. From courtrooms to cameras, from silence to celebration. So let me ask you this. What do you think about Johnny's massive comeback? Do you think he deserves this second chance? Or do you think Hollywood's just cashing in on the hype? Whatever your opinion, I'd love to hear it. Share your thoughts down below, because this story isn't just about one actor. It's about redemption, resilience, and the power of rewriting your own narrative. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown, you'll definitely want to check out our deep dive into Amber Heard's quiet exit from Hollywood and what really went down behind the scenes. There are some surprising parallels there, trust me. Oh, and before you go, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Tap that little bell too, so you never miss an update. Because if there's one thing Hollywood never runs out of, it's drama, and you can count on us to bring you every twist and turn. Johnny Depp's story reminds us that even in a world full of noise, truth and talent eventually rise to the surface. And sometimes, just when you think the story's over, life gives you a sequel. So here's to Johnny, the artist, the fighter, the comeback king. His story isn't just a headline anymore. It's a lesson in strength, in passion, and in the art of never giving up. And that is something worth celebrating.